So I'm here to introduce Charles Cox, the founder of Forgency. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And to kind of move with his point, in some ways it's about survival, in some ways it's about almost dying, you know, and the lessons I have to share, what I call the 5 mind myths of the Micro Mobile Studio, are the 5 things that I said to myself and to my team that nearly killed us. So as we all work together, indies trying to come together, build a community, it's really important that we learn from one another. So that's why I'm here. I want to teach you the 5 myths that nearly sunk us, to try to put together some anti-myths to fight this evil stuff that's invading all of our brains, and we can all learn something along the way. I'll try to keep it short. So, I'm Charles Cox, founder, CEO of Forgency. I'm also a Microsoftie. A lot of us I know have jobs, full-time jobs, real jobs that support the passion, and that's me. I've been working since December 2011 on my own company. I've got a team of weekend warriors who've helped build 2 titles in the last year and a half, 75,000 users, 4 platforms, 3 revenue models. We're proud of the work that we've done. A lot of good feedback and a lot of fun games, but there's some lessons to be learned here. So why am I here? Well, there's a lot of ways that you can slice and dice postmortems. And you know, if I could pick alternate titles for this presentation, how about How Not to Spend Your First $25,000? Or The Incredible Shrinking Revenue Share? Or I Screwed Up, But You Don't Have To? Or my personal favorite, $1 Wines for CEOs on a Budget. I am here to share my experiences, but I'm also here to listen to you. And I'm here to mind meld and to try to get into your headspace in the way that you get into mine. Some crazy Vulcan stuff going on. So if you're just getting started, or you're near launching, or you're trying to get out of the pit and try to get into a better place, I'm with you. I'm right there. So let's see how we can do better together. I'm going to try to leave time for questions too, so we can all share in the knowledge. Okay, let's talk about first year. I'm going to move off the podium for a second. Wait, actually, laser pointer? Laser? No? Okay, don't worry about that. Left side of the screen is where we began. Hopes, dreams, being on the front page, being on the App Store top 10. Over the period of 1.5 years, the budget went down while the revenue did not go up. We released our first version of NodeHack in March of 2012 into multiple app stores, iOS, Android, and Kindle Fire. You can see expenses, really hitting hard prior to the first release, and then afterward, when we were trying to do some marketing promotions. The money runs out quick, though if I had to point to something across this entire graph, I'm the proudest of, oh my God, a profitable month in June 12. I was so happy that we had that. Unfortunately, it was the only one. The rest of us basically looked like a bobsled race down to the bottom. Now, what is it that caused us all these problems? Well, here are the 5 mind myths that I have discovered. Here are things that I thought were true, but weren't. Number 1, let's chase the market, as if such a thing exists. Number 2, forget marketing. This thing will sell itself. Number 3, our game will totally go viral, you guys. Number 4, ignore that metric. That one's lying. 5, one more title and we'll get a hit. Okay, now if you've told yourselves these, doesn't mean they're not true. Maybe they are for you. But just in case they're not, let's talk about my experiences, complete with actual CEO quotes. Let's start with the first one. The tablet market is super hot, you guys. Seriously, actual CEO quote. I said that. And when I said it, I thought it was visionary. Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I thought, that's it. That's the market. And to be fair, great experiences and wonderful companies are built off of strong, passionate vision statements. That is not one of them. Why not? Because there is no such thing as the tablet market. Tablets are amazing. They're a device that holds an entire ecosystem of micro markets that fight each other, eat each other, reproduce, just like the game of life. Inside those micro markets, you will find your niche, and in there is money to be had. But to chase the market is a mistake. Look at this chart of genres, right? Where did we actually end up? Whoops. We actually created a game with in-app purchases in a genre where nobody in-app purchases anything. Now, to be fair, that's February 2013. Could have used that about a year earlier. Thanks, everybody. But we did not know the market that we were chasing. So, do you know your micro market? What do they like? What do they hate? What do they spend? How much do they pay? What other games do they play? That gives you the beginning for innovation into the space to lead the micro market to your game. Talk to them early, even before you release your game. Know who they are. We didn't. We thought we'd chase the market. Super hot. Here's another one. How about marketing? Nah, I'd rather put my money in R&D. Actual CEO quote. I did it again. Why is that a problem? That's myth 2. Forget marketing. It'll sell itself. If I just spend more money on R&D, I'm going to create a great game. Now, okay, to be fair, you cannot S before you D. Okay? You have to develop before you sell it. But you can't have a successful product without spending some money to acquire users. Now, where did we end up? What you're looking at are 2 Monte Carlo models of how our game might sell depending on injection of numbers of users. At the very top in red is free with IAP. At bottom is paid with IAP. Where we ended up was at the very, very back of the lower curve. That's how many people that we got. Now, do we think better R&D would have pushed the arrow farther up the curve to get more users? Beyond a certain point, no. Why didn't we answer the question, how are people going to find us? We didn't. We just kept deving a game, hoping that it would sell, and we didn't have a dedicated marketing budget. Whoops. Here's another one. Oh, seriously, we have a share button. They'll totally hit that a lot. Our game is totally going to go viral. No, they didn't. Users are not an acquisition strategy. You probably know this, and this is the thing. I'm telling folks in this room a lot of what they've already heard. But again, take it for someone who's been here and made the gigantic mistake. Everyone knows the funnel, or in this case, the upside-down Dorito. At the very top of the Dorito, where the funnel is widest, there's pools and pools of micro-market users. You spend money, those come in the funnel, they go all the way to the bottom of the Dorito, and when they get down there after playing your game, buying your IAP, maybe they'll press the share button. How did we do? Yeah, we got like 2% of our users sharing, and if one person shares to one person, that's a self-defeating curve. Nothing happens there. Now, everyone knows the app discovery model. Where do people find apps? They find them on the App Store. They find them word of mouth, friends and family. On that chart, it's hard to read. It says search App Store at the very left. The very next one is friends and family. Yeah, that doesn't mean share button. It means word of mouth. It means, dude, you got to check out this game. It means people telling other people physically about your game. So, again, they will not hit the share button. It will not happen a lot. And by the way, we did incentivize them. We gave them in-game currency for doing it. That's what we get. We get 2% off. Our game will not totally go viral. Here's another one. Oh, man, IAP percentage can't be that low in our tests. Those metrics are totally wrong. No, they weren't. Okay, myth 4. Ignore that metric. It's lying. On the left is a pre-release test we did of our second game with in-app purchases. We did a test market in Canada. A lot of folks do that. They release in Canada prior to releasing worldwide because they get purchase habits in a smaller market. I don't know what they mean by smaller, but I went with it. Anyway, on the left, you'll see it, and again, hard to read a little bit, but go from the top to the bottom. Big bars, big bars, big bars, big bars, big bars. It starts to look like a funnel at the very bottom. How many bought IAP? 0%. Well, now let's see. 25 users, 46 got into the funnel, 25 got near the bottom, and 0 bought anything. What did I do? I said, oh, that's not statistically significant. That can't be right. Screw statistical significance. 0 is still 0. Should I have been worried? Yeah, absolutely I should have been worried. That was a gigantic mistake. On the right is the real funnel when we went global. Does it look similar? Yeah. Think we could have predicted that? But I put my goggles on and I said, no, man, we screwed up with the metrics, but the game is solid. We're going to launch this thing. We launched it. We got exactly what we should have expected. Don't ignore that metric. Now, not all of you are CEOs, but many of you are. For the CEOs in the room, sometimes we've got reality distortion goggles on. Sometimes we don't want to listen to our engineers, our testers, our marketers, our audience. Folks who aren't CEOs, your job is to poke the CEO. Hey, you, take those goggles off. Hey, you, that metric isn't lying. And the CEO, rightly, like I did, is going to get pissed off. It's crap, man. This game is totally awesome. You guys are kicking ass. Well, you might be. The metrics probably aren't lying to you. If in doubt, keep testing. And then finally, okay, we screwed up the first game. We screwed up the second game. But we learned a lot. This next game is going to be big. We're finally going to get one, man. We have it coming. No, we didn't. There's a reason, if you ever talk to investors, that they want to see recurring revenue because they're not betting on one hit to make you all the money. They want to see a constant stream coming from somewhere. And if you're a developer with multiple titles, where's it going to come from? It's going to come from building a portfolio that has content that draws in an audience and allows them to kind of share across it. Where is your loyal user base coming from is the first question. And then once they get in, what are you doing to incentivize them to spend across your range of titles? We had a great opportunity. 2 titles, possibly 1 user base, but what was the crossover? 250 users across 75,000. Why? We didn't give them any mechanism to go between the 2 games. Not a shared currency, not even interstitial ads. We thought, oh, well, they'll go to the App Store and they'll say, more apps by Forgency. Well, 250 people did that, which is 1% of 10% of, again, the Dorito at the very, very bottom. The question to answer is, how will your games influence and lead into one another? How are you going to build that network of games, if you have multiple games, and incentivize people to spend across? Okay, all together now. 5 mind myths again. We'll chase the market. Forget marketing, it'll sell itself. Our game will totally go viral. No, it won't. Ignore that metric, it's lying to you. No, it isn't. 1 more title and we'll get a hit. No, you won't. Did anything go right? Hey, I'm still standing here. We're still here. 75,000 users, good ratings on app stores. We even got a Pocket Gamer Silver Medal for Node Hack. I mean, fun game. People love it. Valuable postmortems on our website. They've also been on GameDev.net, Gamasutra. And of course, our guys looking to break into the industry, looking to make it big. It's always good to give fodder for portfolios and resumes. They're proud, we're proud, and the people who play the game enjoy it. And valuable info and a commitment to risk smarter and harder next time around. In all, I will say, spending $25,000 of my own money was a damn good education. I'm glad I paid for it. I hope you don't have to do the same thing. I'm assuming some of you did. That's okay. We're all in this together. Okay, we talked about how it went wrong. We talked about a few things that went right. I'm proud that I'm still here. What are the anti-myths? If I could reverse the whole thing and say the 5 ways to do it right, here's what I believe. Find your niche and serve it. Do not chase the giant market. There are people who will love your game. I guarantee it. This is a wild, wacky world full of all kinds of people. Find your tribe. Find who loves what you do. They are loud, they are vocal, and there is a forum somewhere where they all sit around and talk at each other. Find your niche and serve it there. You can begin to expand once your micro market is vocal and is helping you reach out. Your most dialed in micro market will become the way that you serve the larger population. 2, have a dedicated marketing budget. This seems like a no-brainer, and it really is. I just didn't have a brain back then. When you have a dedicated marketing budget, how much to spend? Okay, it's $2 a head. Everybody knows that, probably $2.50. And you got to figure it out. What's your break-even points? How many people do you need? How much are they going to buy? And what's it going to take to break even? Allocate money to it. Acquire users, and not through the share button. You have to get them elsewhere. Find places where the audience is going to trip over it and fall onto your game. There's lots of places. You got to find them, you got to partner to get them, and you got to pay for them sometimes. Test, verify, and most importantly, trust your metrics. I really should have bolded the word trust. You can do all the work like we did, and you can still have some idiot CEO that says that that's just totally crap and I don't believe that. Just do whatever you can, man. Get them to trust those metrics. And finally, think beyond each title. You are building a narrative. It's your company. It's your games. People are looking for narrative, storytelling. We are the people that are today's and tomorrow's campfire storytellers. People are going to want your company to have that vision that goes beyond each title. So build it in, build some way for people to share between the games, and really nurture across your entire portfolio. I believe those are the 5 ways to get it right. It's what we're doing as we move forward. And I am really, really happy to have come here to share this with you. I want to see you all. I'm up at the Indie Showcase. I want you to come by, ask questions, see Node Hack. We're proud of it. I want to hear your war stories. I'm here until the end of the conference, and we do have time for questions, but I wanted to say thank you very much for having me up here. Any questions from the audience? In the back?
How much do you think to allocate for user acquisition for your next title?
The question, how much do I think I'd like to allocate for user acquisition for my next title? It's a good question. To my mind, I guess it's going to be, it's an equation between, you know, $2 per head versus how many people are going to pay in. I'd say anywhere between, God, do I want to say $50,000 to $100,000? But it seems like that's where it's going to go. I'm in a lot of conversations with folks right now. They started around $20,000 for a decent campaign and go out to $50,000 for the kind of users that you really need to bring in. That's where I'm calibrating. Where I'm going to get the money? Don't ask. In the front.
Should your marketing budget be a percentage of your overall budget, or should it just be, look, it's going to cost us $50,000 to put it in money? Like in my case, we're probably realistically the next title, we're probably going to have $100,000 to spend. That's all we're going to have. That's going to pay for everything.
Right.
Wages and everything.
Right.
What should be a percentage of that?
Well, the fact is that I think marketing is the way to get the people into the funnel, right? The R&D that you build into the title and all the wages you're paying are how you're going to keep people there and monetizing. Marketing, in a way, has to be its own dedicated budget because you're looking to acquire a certain number of users. What's that number of users defines your marketing budget. If you cannot carve it out of your overall budget because it's just too high, you may need to go seek some more money. In a way, I'd keep the budget separate. I have a defined marketing budget based on the number of users that you want times the head, and then you work it out from there. That would be my recommendation. Thanks for the question. Anyone else?
Are you still seeing metrics that you think are lying at this point in this fourth game, being honest?
Yeah. I think they're lying, but now I have, now I need to think again and go, wait, am I lying? And so, like for instance, we had lots of IAP numbers come in. We have a ton of IAP transaction complete hits that came in. And I said, oh my God, we're filthy rich. $30,000 worth of IAP that was coming in. And I said, this is great, you guys. And I stopped. And I said, wait a minute. I'm not seeing these metrics come in from the back end. Turns out we were being hacked. Our IAP was being duplicated in a number of countries. They were buying the most expensive thing possible. Again, you should look for that. Like, are they really all buying the gigantic mega coin pack? No, we were being hacked. So sometimes metrics will lie. So you might want to set up some cross-references, and before you do anything big, like post a press release, take a look and just press through your reality filter and see if it stands. Good question. Last question, anybody? Okay.
Stick to one platform, or if you have maybe more than that?
We're on 3 platforms. So one platform or multiple platforms is the question. We're on multiple platforms with one of our games. We're seeing a pretty big differentiation between the iOS and the Android sales. Was it worth it? We used Unity, so as far as R&D cost, it was good. If you look at Forgency.com and go to the NodeHack postmortem, you'll see the exact difference numbers and some recommendations from me. I still think cross-platform's a good idea, but again, you got to weigh it. What's your technology stack going to cost you? Can you really do it easily? We could, so we did. If you can't, you might not want to. Okay? Thanks. Hope to see you at the Indie Showcase. Thanks, everyone.